Hello, darlings. My name is Coretta Queen, and I am representing Creative Queen Consulting. Thank you for joining me in the Creative Queen Consulting community, the CQCC, by subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. I am a registered dietitian, a life skills mentor in regards to figuring out your feelings, stress management, and the logical mind, as well as a spiritual teacher. My intent for this channel is to provide you with encouragement and useful ways to grow in 4 areas: body, spirit, emotions, and mind. This is part 2 of the topic relationships, love, logic, and lust. And we had started talking about how all 3 of these items are intertwined. And I explained to you a little bit more about my history, that I've experienced life as a wife, as a date, as a girlfriend, a little entanglement, 1 or 2, as well as a significant other being settled down, and how I have found these 3 elements are very much a part of relationships. And we discussed about love and the wonderful feeling and emotion that it is. We talked about lust and the passion and the physical attraction and sex. And then we talked about logic and how I weighted logic the heaviest when assessing a relationship or building one, which is about 60%. And I explained a little bit about how my first marriage was based off of logic. So now let's talk about love. It's an emotion, it's a feeling, it's nice, it's dreamy, it's wonderful, but it can be so fleeting at times. I mean, it's romantic in the moment, but it can change. Some loves have conditions on them. If you act this way, if you do this, then I still love you. One day you're in love, the next day you're all right, it's just you. It can be so changeable. Sometimes people go through life events, they lose a job, they lose a loved one, they start getting older, they evolve, and you don't evolve together. And then one day they're like, I just don't love you anymore. And you're like, well, what happened? We used to be so in love. And so I encourage you to think about love in a more mature mindset and weight it at about maybe 25% of what you're looking at when it comes to a potential relationship and keeping one. Mature love is when you really care about that person for who they are and their well-being. Even if at times you don't agree with them, you don't always like their personality. Sometimes you don't like the way they dress. You might not like the way they sit at the table. You might not like the way their tone of voice is or some of their moods. So there's definitely things about their personality you don't like, but you care about that person and what's important to them, and you both do. That's a mature love. And mature love a lot of times starts off as a friendship, which is wonderful. If you can meet somebody and build a friendship, you can just hang out and have a good time and talk on a regular basis and learn how to communicate on that friendship level. And then that love can grow in a fondness and a feeling versus falling into love. Because you fall into love, you can fall out of love. So think of mature love as caring about the whole person, not always the personality, and the friendship part of it. Because falling in love can cloud your logical judgment and lead to so many unfortunate financial, emotional, physical mistakes, sometimes being taken advantage of, and unfortunately extreme of any kind of abuse. So we want love to evolve and mature, and we want to be mature in our thinking about it, not just romantic, but enjoy the little romantic moments that you may have. I have been in love. Miss Coretta Queen has been in love and had a very strong love relationship, and yeah, it felt great, but I got a little bit lost. I got caught up where I started doing more and giving more and letting myself become, a doormat. No level of abuse or anything, but just a doormat. I'm giving more, I'm doing more, I'm tolerating different things, I'm not putting up boundaries. I'm not speaking up for myself as much as I should. So immediately after a while, my logical mind and my spirit had to click in and say, hey, wait a minute. This is not how you operate. You know who you are. You have self-esteem. You don't get all caught up in love. Make sure that there are boundaries, that, there is a level of respect. You don't have to go out of your way all the time. If that person won't go out of their way for you, it needs to be reciprocated so that you don't become a doormat because you're in love. I just love him. I love him. I love him. And believe me, I have loved and sang the little love songs and put that person's name in the song, and it felt great. But it was too much emotion. And a lot of times I have found that you have to detach from emotion. And that's something we can talk about in future sessions, where I still have the feeling, I still love, but I have to completely detach from that emotion. I am in my logical mind and my spirit so that I can really view this person and this relationship from an objective point of view about what's best for me as well as that person. So I would weight love about 25%. So logic about 60%, love about 25%. Now let's look at lust. And depending on how you are built, it may be more or less important to you to have a strong passion and physical connection and lust, to be close to that person physically and have sex. At different times in your life, lust may be more important than others. But I just encourage you to not let it dominate your perception of a relationship in the beginning and as how it matures. Because no matter how great you keep your skin looking, the body parts and the organs get old. And physical passion will diminish. It does not have to disappear. It's still important, but it will diminish. Changes come, passion, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. And physical intimacy can become less of a priority and other things more of a priority because you have to give energy to that. So it feels good, but that's your body. That's your body. That's not the logical mind or the spirit. So please don't confuse love and lust. And yes, Miss Coretta has had her moments of lust. They were fun. They felt good. No question. But I always was in touch still with my logical mind and my relationship with spirit, because at any moment I can shut it down, change the whole vibe if physically this isn't right for me, or emotionally I'm at risk of being taken advantage of. I can shut lust and passion down to go into logic and spirit. So I encourage you to keep that in mind as well. And leading into spirit, please involve your relationship with the power that you define as higher than yourself. Creator, Savior, Guide, Lord. Please involve him or her in your decisions about relationships, beginning, middle, and end. I have always done that through prayer, confessions. One of my confessions has always been, Spirit, please teach me and instruct me in the way I should go. In every area of my life, in every type of relationship, please guide me with your eye. So then that way, if I have missed something, if I made a wrong decision, I give the spirit world permission to fix it, or to show me what I need to do to fix it, so that that balance of logic, love, friendship, lust, and physical attraction is weighted appropriately. And spirit will definitely help you with this and give you an intuition when you spend that time in meditation. So in regards to your relationships with men, ladies, I really do encourage you to look at things logically first. As we said, from a financial standpoint, you don't want anybody who's going to financially bring you down. You don't want to bring them down. Are you looking for somebody to be 100% provider, 75% provider? Gentlemen, are you looking for somebody who at least can keep a job? Or do you want to be an over 50% provider? All of these things need to be compatible, and these are logical things. Like I say, you don't have to go into it with how much money you made, how long you've been on your job. But there's ways to work with that. And then look at friendship. Maybe we should just be friends and see how we get along with just hanging out and talking or not talking and enjoying recreation. What do we have in common when we hang out? Because at the end of the day, You just want somebody to sit in a room with you and be comfortable and know that there's a mature caring there. There's a physical attraction. Things are logically in place and you're at peace. And you're at peace with each other. So I encourage you to look at, will he invest time in you and assistance and give you some leadership? And if he's doing those things, then are you willing to flow in your feminine energy with him and give him that respect? Has he earned it? If he hasn't, these are things you logically need to look at, because you don't want to be dealing with a man who's leading and providing and you're being all masculine and overly independent and going against him. You want to flow, ladies, in that femininity if the relationship is worth it. Will he mess you up financially? Will she mess you up financially? Is it worth the risk just to say that you have somebody? Because at the end of the day, straight up 100, money pays bills and buys entertainment. Love doesn't do those things, even though it feels really great. Then the level of physical attraction, as we know for a man, that's a lot of times his predominant attraction to you is lust, and that's normal for him. So ladies, let's stay feminine with our fashion style, whether you're in casual mode, business, or dressy mode. Try wearing some type of makeup most days, wear a dress a few days a week, some type of jewelry. We've talked a little bit about that. Smile and be charming and listen and be flirtatious. All of that is okay and it's fun. I have learned not to be overly sexy. There's a difference between sensual femininity and over hypersexuality, because it's when it's time to settle down, men don't value sexy. That's just a play toy to them. So I have found that when I was dancing ballroom or salsa or club style, I've had to correct quite a few men and let them know that my dancing is entertainment, it's fun, it's a persona, but don't come at me and try to treat me like a sex object, because I'm a lady start to finish, always. And keep in mind, ladies, you always want to be a lady in the street. Now in the bedroom, well, that's a bit more private. And for me, a mature relationship is the price that must be paid to enjoy that, from Coretta Queen. So I certainly do hope that this conversation has been helpful, encouraging, useful to you in regards to relationships, logic, the strongest components, love, mature love, and lust, keeping it in perspective. And thank you so much for your time with me. In the description box, if you'd like to leave me a blessing of any type, there's my Cash App or PayPal. If you'd like to set up a consult with me, there's information on that as well in the description box, as well as a link to my book, Mind Your Menu with Memoirs. That information is there, as well as the information to my dancing and singing YouTube channel, which may provide some helpful entertainment, cheerful entertainment for you. I do welcome your feedback. I appreciate your time of listening to me and learning with me. Thank you so much. And I look forward to our next session. So by faith, with logical actions and managing your emotions, stay healthy, thankful, peaceful, with financial sufficiency. This is my desire for you all. Bye-bye.